Play my darn theme music.
Welcome back here with me tonight. I have myself, Justin Babin of Babin on the Bayou, and of course the one, the only illustrious David Billiot, fresh off of Go Deep Dive, just finished filming his recap as well. And make sure you look for the recap blog on the know. It's been what a Friday, guys. What a Friday, fellas. Started off the season by explaining just how much of a football guy I am, and I lock in baseball season for LSU. But one thing with as much sports that I consume, whether it be football, baseball, soccer, basketball, I know this: offense puts people in the stands, but defense is what wins championships.
Yep.
I don't care how many points you put up. I don't care how many yards you may have. Care how many points you may score, assists you may accumulate. None of it matters. My favorite LSU game of all time will forever be the 9-6 Alabama game. My least favorite LSU game will be the 55-point loss that we had in Oxford, Mississippi. My favorite LSU baseball game will be the walk-off against Wake Forest. I would much rather watch that than the run rule against Florida to win the championship, because I'm hanging on to every single play. If I'm putting up 15 runs, an error in the third inning doesn't hurt me. But if the score is 2-1, that error could cost you the game. So when I see this team and I see the errors that we make, Zach Cowan came in the game in the 7th and got lifted way sooner than he deserved because of him actually doing his job, putting balls in ground play. And every time I see an infielder touch the ball with his glove, I hold my breath, because if it's not Milam, I don't trust that the play is going to get made. And when I see that happen, this is what flashes into my brain every time.
You can't keep getting away with it.
I hear it every single time. When I see a pass ball.
You can't keep getting away with it.
When I see an errant throw.
Keep getting away with it.
When we can't pick at first.
Keep getting away with it.
You can't lay the bunt down.
You can't keep getting away with it.
It echoes through the chambers of my brain. At some point, it's got to stop. But I'm here to tell you guys that it won't stop in 2026, because you are who you are. It is April. You are who you are. So now that I've seared that into your brains, whenever there's another error,
you can't keep getting away with it.
I want y'all to feel that with me. Justin, how do you feel about tonight?
I man, frustrated. That's what I feel. I feel frustrated. Like, folks, statistically coming into this series, and like I understand you won your last two SEC series and you still got two more games in this series in Oxford, but coming into this series, folks, the bottom line is before Friday even happened, before today even happened, tonight even happened, this team was dead last in fielding percentage in the SEC. Dead last in fielding percentage in the Southeastern Conference. Statistically, that means that your Fighting Tigers of LSU have the worst defense in the SEC. After last season having the best defense in LSU baseball program history. Last season, you had 3 shortstops in the infield. Last season. This season, I said it, and I don't want to give credit to myself or anything like that, but I thought this, and I think I said it on my show the week going into the Vanderbilt series, the week going into SEC conference play. I said, if the defense does not get better, it is going to cost you games. And that's what happened in the 8th inning tonight. I understand you could be better hitting with runners in scoring position. I understand you could be better about manufacturing runs, and we can get into all of that. But the 8th inning, between, Becerra gets on base, and then you bring in Ethan Kloss, who I don't want to dog on a freshman. That's not what I'm about. But how is your foot not on the bag? Like,
We'll get to that.
Foot not on the bag. Like,
we gonna get.
I'm just saying.
I got a spot for that. I need you to do what Ethan Claus didn't. I need you to do what Ethan Claus did just then. Don't touch that yet.
Okay.
Take a page out of his book and don't touch that yet. Okay? Don't touch that yet.
But all I'm saying, I won't touch that. I won't touch the 8th inning. But all I'm saying is, statistically, coming into this game, before this game even happened, you had the worst fielding percentage of any team in the SEC. That means you're the worst defense. Statistically, you're the worst defense in the Southeastern Conference. And the thing is, guys, I don't know how it gets better. I don't know how you improve, and I don't know how it gets better.
That's a great segue there. David.
Man.
Is it maybe there's a new rule that we're unaware of? Can, the fundraising that this community sparked up over the last 7 days, can we go ahead and use that to go find another infielder like right now? Like that can play tomorrow?
Absolutely terrible. I feel awful. I'm my bad. I thought you asked me how I felt.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you.
I know. That's that joke. I'm
sorry about jumping the gun on Kloss.
I'm like almost speechless.
Like it's so hard to find the words to express.
You want to know how I'm feeling? Real quick?
Yes.
I'm drinking me a little THC seltzer right here.
Yes, because I mean, you have to at this point. It's the only way. You're so low, you got to find a way to get high.
Yeah.
You got to have a pick
after this too. Yeah.
Like you have to have. You have to find a way to lift yourself up. Like, like, we're really this bad? Like, you went to some of the fall ball and spring ball practices. Did it look like this?
No. I would say that it was reminiscent of going into the 2025 football season, where everyone, is hyped up. They spent money on the roster. You got your senior quarterback, all those things. But what was the one concern that everyone had come into the season?
Offensive line.
And what was the worst?
The offensive line.
That's pretty much how I feel about it. And how a lot of people, a lot of the concern, everyone thought they could hit. Everyone thought they could pitch. You had the question of starting pitching was up there just because you had two guys moving from the bull to the roll in the weekends. But a big part of it, of the conversation, was that you were off of the best fielding defensive team in the history of LSU. A program that's won 8 national championships and been in Omaha 20 times. That was a concern, and this is why. This is why. You didn't just come back down from earth from what 2025 was defensively. You crash landed, my friend. Like Justin said it.
I think you missed earth.
The Artemis had a better splashdown landing from outer space today.
Yes.
Justin said it. They're dead last, in fielding percentages. They have a 16 by the name. You might as well go put a 17 next to it.
Please.
Just because they don't even deserve 16. It's that bad.
What is that trend in the NFC South AP? Worst to first. This is first to worst.
Yeah. You are historically bad with where you were, considering where you were last year. Right? Imagine if you were just middle of the pack right now. How much better you would be. We all had the expectation that this team would take a step back defensively. Just like with football, we all had the expectation that the offensive line would take a step back. You lost on the offensive line a first-round left tackle, a top 5 left tackle, a second-round right tackle. You lost 3 years' worth of starting on those two positions. You lost a starting center, a starting right guard. You lost a lot. There's a lot of changeover. And guess what? Even that offensive line with all that changeover still wasn't that good. So we were scared and had every right to be. This LSU defense last year was elite. You couldn't raise the bar any higher. So we knew what it was going to be. But for you to have a third baseman come in cold, shift them, have him try to make an awkward play that he's not used to making, throw the first baseman off the bag, lose the ball, fortunately, was able to not go that far and hold him at first. And then immediately Cowan gives you a double play ball. Hard double play ball. But that same third baseman is now playing second. And he did the one thing that a kindergartner knows to do. Get the first out.
Step on the base, buddy.
Step on the bag, buddy. Catch the ball, step on the bag. Milam was so confident that he stepped on the bag, he immediately called for the replay. Because, like all of us, even the announcers, there's no way in hell he didn't step on the bag.
No way. Right.
Like, he's out by a mile. Why is he even calling him safe? And sure enough, he caught the ball and just ripped it down the first. And he still, how do you not step on the bag and still miss the out at first?
I mean,
Yeah, I fell off that.
you weren't gonna make the out. Like you probably weren't gonna
Thank
make
you.
the out at first. You gotta make the first out. You got to make
Right.
the first out. Like
You
got
said
to make
it.
that out.
The situational awareness in that moment was trash, but I give him grace. Why? He's a freshman. You are playing like a team that is relying on a bunch of inexperienced players. Your most experienced players, Brown, Curiel, Stanfield, Milam, they are your 4 most consistent players. But how many other players are out in the field playing defense?
More
I
than
think
half,
there's
well, more than double that.
Yeah. So when the other half isn't as experienced and they're not as talented, guess what's going to happen? They're going to weigh you down. I don't understand it.
And it's just like my thing is like just like it's not even just the 8th inning. Like it's not even just that. And we can get into more of that and everything. And we can get into more of that and everything. But it's like it's the other stuff too, not even just defensively. It's Mason Braun getting picked off at first. It's Beatty getting, tagged out at third to end the first inning. It's not being able to move the run over. I was like, during the 7th inning, I was so happy. You know why I was so happy? I was thrilled during the 7th inning. You know why? Because Derek Curiel hit a sac fly.
I haven't seen one of those in so long.
Hit a sac fly. I was dying for a sacrifice fly for somebody to move the runner over with less than 2 outs. I cheered for a sac fly because this team is not like move the runners over. I said it to you before we got on air, AP. Nobody counts how many hits you had by the end of the game. They count how many runs crossed home plate.
Can I pin this on the screen? Just like the last 2 words. I just want to pin the last 2 words on the screen. Like, are we going to have to go get his name like tattooed on our foreheads? Because when it comes to playing like a complete game of baseball, over the last, I don't know, every time I see him in the game, he's the only one that's really doing it outside of the first 4 that we named. When you talk about emotional like infusion of energy, he's the kid that's giving it to you. And right now you just don't have that. And I don't know what else to say anymore. I don't know how else to call it, but this is just a bad baseball team.
It is what it is.
Like, it's just a bad baseball team. Go ahead, David, because I was going to throw it to you next anyway.
I just wanted to follow up what Babin was saying about the sacrifice fly. And not that I've seen anyone saying this, but I'm sure it's out there. So I get Hunter Elliott. He's a good pitcher. Like, he's been around for a long time. He's a good Friday night guy. There's no excuse in some of those situations for not being able to put the ball in play. Just like there was no excuse for Milam, Brown, and who was the third, Pearson on Tuesday night not to put the ball in play when they had the bases loaded in that 7th inning. There's just no damn excuse.
0 outs.
No outs.
Bases loaded.
And you can't even put the ball in play. There's no excuse because like I said, I don't care. I don't want to hear about the pitcher, the stuff that he's got. I don't care because look what Ole Miss did in the 8th inning. Zach Cowan, best ERA in the SEC. He's one of two guys with the Appletini guy that has a 0 from Tennessee last week. The only two guys that have 0 ERA. He's pretty damn good too. What did Ole Miss do in that 8th inning? Just put the ball in play.
Just put it in
That's all you got to do. They'll screw it up. Just put it out in play.
Make them make mistakes.
And
I felt so bad for Zach Cowan. I felt so bad for Zach Cowan tonight.
Like in the dugout after?
Dude.
He looked like he gave up 3 grand slams. That's the weight that he had on his face. That kid didn't deserve that. His defense let him down. His defense let him down. And it feels like, I know we all consume Baton Rouge media, and I know we've heard this over the years. We've all heard Matt Moscona cry about bunting. There's a place in baseball for bunting. This team needs to get a damn bunt down once in a while.
Move a runner over, please. Please.
Because you can't do anything else good. And if you can't lay a damn bunt down, just why even pick up the bat?
Well,
and then thank you, Zach. Bunt against the damn shift. Like, they bunted with Klaus, and Klaus gave them a run. You couldn't pick up a bunt. You couldn't field a bunt tonight. That's how bad the fielding was tonight. You think about that. You threw all it's so funny. It goes first, second, third. You threw off of first. You don't touch second, and then you give up a bunt down the third baseline that scores a run with no outs.
So I put this in the sorry, David. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I put this in the chat of y'all's show earlier, y'all's Go Deep Dive post game earlier. I put this in the chat. I don't know what the term defensive replacement means anymore. I don't know what that term means anymore, because you bring in these defensive replacements, and I'm not saying whether it's Klaus, whether it's Ruckert. Like, I know both of those guys are freshmen, and I'm sure they're going to turn out to be great players, and I'm not trying to dog on them or anything like that. But you're bringing in defensive replacements who can't make the play. And then you're shifting the defense all around when guys are struggling to field from their regular positions. And it's like, what are we doing?
I was asking David because I didn't see what happened, but I was asking in our group text earlier, like what pulled Klaus into the game, because I didn't see where
by the
Pearson
way, I
was coming in. No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's one of the. If I got 3 tangents.
Yes,
not all at once.
The floor is yours.
This is the first one. That's the first one. To answer your question real quick. It was when you had runners on first and second in the 7th inning. You're down 3-2. You got a walk from who was 9?
Pearson.
Pearson. So you get a walk from Pearson. You get a walk from Stanfield. That puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Down 1 in the 7th. Jake Brown hits an infield fly for out number 1. At that point, with 1 out, he pinch ran William Patrick for John Pearson, which I get it. Like, that's now you're the tying runner. You have 1 out. Like, you tried to leave Pearson in. I'll give him credit. Like, he did try to leave Pearson in there, and he got worried, and he's thinking like he's just got to get that guy home. So he puts William Patrick in for that, so that's how they moved Dardar to third, and then Claus came in for second. But that's tangent number 1, and Justin just touched on it. We are moving players around aside from your all-world shortstop. Everybody else that's on that infield is average at best defensively, at least right now, like average at
They're
best.
below average because
And
they are like we're the lowest ranked
yeah,
defense.
yeah.
They're below
Yeah.
average.
Yeah. I mean, even in terms of capabilities, like just like on a good night, you're average.
Right.
And so it's 50-50 whether they're going to make the play that they field in their own position when they're in their own spot. But we're going to start moving them around into positions that they don't normally play. We're going to shift. First of all, I hate the shift.
I hate the
in
shift.
general, but especially college baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why. It's not because I know it stands out when you have the shift and it's an open side and a hit goes that way. It stands out and you remember it. But the problem with it in college baseball is college pitchers are not good enough to pitch to the shift. And that's exactly what we saw happen, even with Cowan. As good as he is, you got a 1-2 count or something. I think it was when Furness was up there, and he throws like a changeup on the outside corner. So Furness hits it that way. Like you got to, if you're going to shift it that way and you're going to make it pull, you got to be able to jam them on the inside to where it's impossible for the ball to go the other way where you have the field open. But no, we're still going to do it. So then you got Claus, a true freshman, playing out of position in a situation on the bunt, playing at third base, a spot that he doesn't play. You got Seth Dardar, who's playing on one ankle, one leg right now, because his ankle is clearly bothering him. He's been limping around. Let's move him around. Let's put him in spots to where he's got to cover all the ground. He just can't stand right at second base and just field the ball straight to him. Like just we've said it. Somebody said it earlier. Somebody said it on our show. We are overcomplicating every little thing. Like it does not have to be that complicated. Like you can't do the basics right. Can we just focus on the basics? Like just put the guys where they're supposed to go, and you're not, this will kind of tie into probably one of my other tangents, but
go ahead. Floor is yours.
You got to stop pulling guys from the game when the guys that you're starting, your starting 9 are your best options, not just for your bat, but like defensively too. Like, because from the way this season has gone, like not only is Dardar and Pearson your better options for those 2 positions at the bat, they've been your best options defensively too. And they're not even in there defensively. They're in there for the bat, but they're still the best. You can't pull them guys out. You can't pull them out. Like, I get it. I get the thinking normally that you try to get one of the slowest guys off the team for one of the fastest guys on the team, to try to tie that game. I get it. But when you don't have like Caraway available, Simpson's not on the injury report, but not available apparently. Yeah. And then your next 2 options are 2 freshmen, one of which has already made multiple errors in that scenario, and the other one who was your second option as far as freshmen go for a defensive replacement, who you only started putting in there because the other guy failed. Like, that's your options. Like, you got to leave the guys in the game, or like leave Dardar in his spot and put somebody that is more used to playing third base, and not have to X the guy on one bum ankle to go to this other spot and then move back and forth all around the infield. It's just, it's overcomplication of simple things. And it's just like, don't get me wrong, Jay Johnson's the best in the business. Like, there's no one better. But it's really hard it's not just me, it's everybody like on this side to understand. Like, it seems obvious, but apparently it's not.
You could do those things last year when you had Michael Braswell, Daniel Dickinson, and Stephen Milam. And it feels like they're still trying to have that same approach. Like, you have Michael Braswell, Daniel Dickinson, and Stephen Milam. You do not. And you're not pulling Michael Braswell in from off of your bench. Daniel Dickinson is not buried in the dugout. Like, can we not just line up and play baseball anymore?
And can I throw one thing in for you just because you mentioned that real quick? I'm sorry. The difference about last year too is you had a competent enough offense to be able to fix a mistake.
Yes.
defensively. If it happened, it rarely did. This year, you don't. Like you can't have both. Like last year's defense would have been okay with this year's offense because they would play good enough defense to where
Yep.
you're not giving up these runs. Like you would have been okay.
Mhm.
Or
You pulled
or
this game
last
out
year's-
tonight with last year's defense.
right.
Mhm.
Or like this year's defense would be okay because the offense could go get you some runs and could take
Yep.
advantage of some opportunities. This year's defense and this year's offense combined just makes for exactly what we've been watching. It's a disaster. And when one thing fails, the other one's not going to pick it up.
Another situation that I hate singling players out. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. But like in the first inning, the second run you gave up of the game in the first inning was because Omar Cerna cannot glove and catch the ball properly behind home plate. Like you can't glove the ball, you can't catch the ball.
David had to
So the
sip
ball
on that.
pops out
That's my third tangent, by the way.
Goes back.
I knew that's what you were getting ready for. That's when I saw you take that breath and grab that can. I said, "Oh, he's getting ready."
Like it's like, but I don't want to point Cerna out because I do think Cerna's been really good as a freshman, especially at the plate. I do think he's had his struggles behind the plate at catcher, but it's like the ball pops out of your glove, and it's not a ball in the dirt. That's a fastball for a strike that he can't glove, pops out of his glove. He can't glove it, can't catch it, and rolls all the way halfway back to the mound.
Oh, so it
And allows a run to score.
it didn't hit the dirt.
No,
He didn't have
that
to
was a
scoop up.
strike. No.
David, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm trying so hard not to like drop F-bombs. And I know you don't care on your show, but I'm just trying not to.
Look,
Why the hell?
You're free to do this.
I know. Why are we trying to frame a strike? It's a strike. Why are we trying to frame it? Like, once again, we're over complicating things. You don't have to do it. Just catch the damn ball. That's all you got to do. And it's not working. It hasn't worked with Aaron Beatty, and that we've seen it with Cerna. And I understand that's what Josh Jordan teaches them to do. He's been very good at it. He's gotten guys, like last year. Like people don't remember. They forget. Luis Hernandez was on the struggle bus behind the plate in the beginning of last year. Like this was a problem, and it
Aaron
wasn't even
Beatty was
necessarily
really
that.
threatening to take his job.
Like balls were getting to the backstop. Like it was a problem, but he turned him into like a guy that now we're looking back and was like, man, we miss Luis Hernandez.
Can he come
and he's
back?
not even like on the top 5 of catchers defensively out of the last 10 years. Like, no, it's nothing against him. It's just that's not what he was. He played like 4 games at catcher at Indiana State the year before coming to LSU, but just catch the ball, man. Like it is costing you a run, at least a run in almost every single game. This just dropping balls thing, just not catching. And like tonight was almost like the comical, like it was like if SNL did a skit on LSU catchers trying to frame balls and just dropping balls. That tonight would be the skit. It's in the strike zone and it bounces off the damn glove halfway back to the pitcher's mound to allow a run. How is that even possible? I don't understand it.
It looked like the best wild pitch I've ever seen in my life. Like, think about that for a second. That's an oxymoron. It was the safest, best wild pitch I ever seen in my life. Like you don't like that should not be a thing. But when I think about this team versus last year's team, I think about all the senior leadership that it had, the veterans that it had, the players that had to grow up in moments, and then had the ability to grow up at a higher level because they already grew up in moments preceding them coming to LSU. This team feels like it's too young.
Mm-hmm.
And what has me afraid is that youth will grow up, but you're going to replace damn near your entire outfield, potentially. Your shortstop, who's been a 3-year starter and is the best shortstop you've had since, I don't know, Alex Bregman? Like, what are we gonna do? Because this is not. I'm lost.
Zach said it in the comments. The starters, you have 4 returning starters, all your returning starters in the outfield. Your returning shortstop. Beatty was on the team last year. Pearson was on the team last year. Dardar, I know he wasn't on the team last year, but Dardar is a senior. Like,
But when I think about, so let me frame it. Let me frame it differently.
You have veterans on this team.
Let me frame it differently. When you look at a guy like Luis Hernandez, he played how many years of baseball before he got to LSU? Multiple. Right. Multiple. You had a guy like Danny Dickinson who played multiple years of baseball before he got to LSU. You had Michael Braswell who came back after playing a year already at LSU. You had Milam, who was in his second season at LSU. You had a first baseman in Barrett Jones, who was in his third year at LSU. You had guys in the outfield who had been there for multiple years. Chris Stanfield was his first season at LSU. So, but before that, he played 2 years at Auburn. So he had to just grow up in LSU. The guys outside of the core 4, and I'm even throw Dardar in there right now too. They're still young. This is their second season. And when you look at how much baseball they played in their freshman season, they weren't in clutch moments. It was up 10, down 10. Go get your Tuesday night run. It wasn't Friday night in the SEC, bottom of the 8th, and you got to go make the play. You got to shut down this inning. You got to get that runner from first to third with 1 out, and you got to make sure that it stays 1 out or he gets close to home, damn it. And the guys that we brought in to fill in that gap just aren't living up to those expectations right now. And it seems like this step up in competition may be a little bit too much. And that's not on Jay Johnson either, because you did what you thought was right. And sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't.
The portal class that you brought in for 2026, Dardar has been good, but you've had a few guys who I'd be willing to say at this point you are not nearly living up to the expectation and the roles that you had hoped that they were going to fill. And it's like the guys you brought in 2025 out of the portal, whether it was Ianson or Danny Dickinson or Luis Hernandez or all of that, like those players really were very key critical contributors to you winning your 8th national title. And I think you've had a few like Dardar, like Cooper Moore when he's healthy, obviously, but you've had a couple that are just not living up to the expectations that you had for them, clearly. And it is what it is. We have to be honest about it at this point.
The trio of Caraway, Simpson, and York being non-factors right now hurts a lot. It hurts a lot because in 2024 they had one of them. It was Mac Bingham, who was a senior who had played for Jay. Yep. Everyone was excited about like that. He was going to be an important start. He was going to be starting center fielder, all that, and then he was so underwhelming they just stopped playing him. And that's when he started playing Jake Brown and Ashton Larson as freshmen, and they got all the experience that they got. So the 3 of them is a struggle, and it's like Seth picked it up, but he's now playing hurt, But the scary thing is like when Jake Brown and Ashton Larson came in, as freshmen in those moments when the veterans couldn't get it done, they contributed and they never gave up their spot. You're seeing the young guys come in right now and just can't figure it out.
They can't figure it out.
Like every time, I think they're going to be really good players. They're freshmen,
Same.
but every time Ruckert and Claus come on the field, nothing good happens. Like
I will say, two freshmen. I'm sorry for interrupting, David. I didn't mean to.
no, you can.
Two freshmen for me. Obviously, we talked about Cerna and how good he was a couple, weeks ago, and how good he's been this season. And I will say, I know he got picked off in the 8th inning, but he did have 3 hits, and I think Mason Braun has been putting some really good at bats together over the past couple of games. I really like Mason Braun. I really, really do. And I think he's a guy that we might not talk about a lot, but when I see a lot in him, and I do think Braun puts a lot of good ABs together. I got to give him credit for that. Now, I say that, and then he gets picked off in the 8th inning, and that you can't get picked off in that situation. But, like, Mason Braun has put a lot of good ABs together recently, and he had 3 hits tonight.
I can live with a true freshman making a base running error in a clutch moment like that because you're trying to make a play and you just made the wrong play.
No,
Okay.
see, that's the thing. I don't even think he's trying to make a play, and that's why it was so confusing.
Right. That's why
like he wasn't even trying to steal. Like, what are you doing, kid?
Right. Like he was just being a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like like it's just all right. Like you're a true freshman. I get it. You had a slip. Like, but we're talking about this. We're in April. This kid was your starting DH to open the season at LSU as a true freshman. And this is the first time we're talking about him making a mistake. Like, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Mason Braun has been absolutely good. Omar Cerna, like another true freshman. Yes, we have issues with him behind the plate. It's consistent issues with him behind the plate. It's enough issues with him behind the plate that I still think you need to keep him in the field. But that's another true freshman that's going to be a cornerstone along with Mason Braun. The rest of them need some time to develop. Like, and the scary thing is that we're playing them right now with guys who are banged up and you can't take off the field. What the hell happens if you have to take one of these guys off the field? And does Eddie Yaman have something on his jacket that we just don't know about? There's got to be a reason that this kid just gets like tossed to the side.
Yeah, I mean, right now you have 3 positions. To me, I think that the thing for me is between 3 positions, between catcher, first base, and DH. I think you got 4 guys, so one guy is going to have to sit in a game. I think between catcher, first base, and DH, you have Yaman, Cerna, Beatty, and Braun. I think you have 4 guys, 3 positions. One guy's going to have to sit in a game. That's not to say they can't be brought in a pitch hit situation or anything like that, but I think between those 3 positions that you're seeing the most competition in, because I think when healthy, Dardar has locked down second base, and Pearson is locked down third base. But I think between those 3 positions, you have 4 guys. So one of those guys is going to have to sit and not be in the lineup on a day or 2.
Who would you sit, David, if you had to choose?
I mean, I think tonight it worked out. I think tonight it showed. I think Jay made the right call. Like it's just tough. The only 2 guys that had multiple hits on the roster tonight were Cerna and Braun, and then Beatty hit 4 home runs on Sunday, and you weren't taking him out of the game.
You're not taking him out.
You can't not play him. That one's just tough. Like there's a lot of games, that you can make the point that why is Yaman not in there? I think tonight just if Braun wouldn't have had a good game at the plate, that would have been the standout. That would have been like, why was Yaman not there? Because it's a freshman left-handed hitter against
a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, it would have. If Braun would have done bad, that would have been the spot where I was like, what the hell are we doing? Tonight was just a tough spot for it. He's just the odd man out, and it's nothing more than that. But I would like to see them put Yaman or Beatty behind the plate tomorrow and let Cerna take a day off.
Yeah, but one of those guys is gonna have to sit tomorrow. One of those guys is gonna have to sit
Yeah,
next game. Like you have 3 positions and you have 4 guys that can fill those 3 positions that have all contributed for you at times this season. And Randy said it. Yaman was
yeah.
I thought Yaman was good behind the plate on Easter Sunday. I really, really did, man. Like
He
behind
was.
the plate
He was.
at the catcher position, I thought, like especially with the struggles you've seen from Beatty and Cerna behind the plate, I was impressed. I was impressed with how Eddie Yaman played behind the plate on Easter Sunday against Tennessee.
Zach and myself are getting we're getting the club together. We have seats that are gonna come open. We're gonna need an executive director. We're gonna need a chairman. We're going to need a treasurer.
Eddie
The
Yaman
club.
fan club.
Yes, I'm talking about the Eddie Yaman fan club that Zach is the president and I'm the vice president of, because clearly we're going to have to go out and campaign and get signatures just so we can get a full game of this kid behind the plate. That's all I'm saying. Yaman is a dog. Yes, Yaman is a dog. Thank you, Unc.
I
Yaman
would
is
have
a
caught
dog.
Yaman over Cerna tonight.
I would have caught, especially considering Cerna coming off of a concussion. I've talked about this privately. I had a concussion. I will never forget the moment I got the concussion, because everything after I got the concussion, I forgot.
Yeah, right.
Seriously. Friday night, playing against Rummel, beat a block, come backside. I got ear hold. Didn't fall, kept playing. I do not remember the rest of the week. Forget the game. That's the last thing I remember from that Friday night until 2 weeks later. I don't even remember the next game I played in. So I know that this kid was concussed. So why not put him at DH? Why not put him at DH tonight and then put Yaman behind the plate? Go ahead, David.
Or just let him sit. Like, but it's one of two things. Like I asked Zach early, I'm like, realistically, how much work did Omar Cerna get this week? Like, probably nothing, because he was on like in this protocol all week. And no, it's not like baseball is not necessarily
like football,
football or basketball, but and then we came to the realization, even if you were dead set on playing Kate Beatty and Omar Cerna, why was Cerna behind the plate and not DHing like you just said it would compare it? Why did Beatty's not that much worse than him behind the plate? No, they both had struggles, but like until 4 weeks ago, Aaron Beatty was your Friday night catcher as it was. Worked a lot with Case and Evans. Like, that was just so strange. And we made it like 50 minutes into the show, Zach and I, before he mentioned that. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Just
right.
some really weird decision making.
I had that on my mind.
Weird.
I thought you had thought about it. I was more surprised at the fact that you didn't think about that either. But I had thought about it too when I saw the lineup, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, first of all, Braun at first. Okay, I'm shocked. Left-handed hitter, left-handed ace. Shocked by that. Okay. Cerna behind the plate after coming off of a concussion and not even Beatty behind the plate. Like Unc said, Unc says in here you can't play all 3 catchers at catcher first. Yes, you can, because one can move from first to behind the plate. You don't have to worry about the substitution. It's the DH that you got to worry about. And I discovered that last week when we talked about the injury, because that's why Yaman went behind the plate and Beatty didn't remove from DH. So you can do all 3. But when I saw that lineup, and I was like, all right, like, I'm not sure how fresh he's going to be, how comfortable he's going to be. If you want to ease him back in, just put the bat in his hand. Take the pressure off. Don't risk another collision. How about that?
That's strange.
And isn't it, I don't want to talk about, the future and next season and all of that, but aren't all these guys, Beatty, Cerna, and Yaman, all coming back next season too?
You're going to have the same issue.
Like, you're going to have the same exact issue
you're going to have the same exact
in
issue
2027, because you have 3 guys at catcher
And you know they're going to bring in a
all can
freshman.
play. Yeah, who all can play, but they play. It's either going to be catcher, first, or DH. Those are the three positions they could play. Unless I'm wrong, those are the three positions they could be put in. You're going to have the same issue next year because all three of these guys are coming back.
They're gonna have to move Mason Braun to the outfield because one of them are gonna have to play first base.
Play first. Somebody's going to have to.
One of them. Yes.
That's probably
you can't
true,
waste
Zach.
Mason
That's
Braun.
probably fair.
Yeah, you gotta move him.
To transfer.
And I think that they may have already had that conversation with Cerner coming in and committing because you got to have a plan. You got to have the plan in place. Like you got three solid catchers. I mean, no telling how Yaman performs in practice because clearly he must be straight garbage. I don't even know if he has a scholarship at this point because he doesn't get a chance.
My thing is with Yaman is against Tennessee and against Ole Miss. My only thing about Yaman, and I'm not saying I don't know what they see in practice and all that. My only thing is we haven't seen his arm tested behind the plate because Tennessee's not a team who's going to run on you.
I don't care about that right now. You cannot. You're giving away free passes with balls getting past you at the plate from the pitcher. Like they're getting the second already just from not catching the ball from the pitcher. So I don't care about throwing somebody out from first or second. Catch the damn ball right now, please. Mm-hmm. Let's worry about that later.
That's fair. I'm just saying that's the only thing we haven't seen, and
I've seen him catch the ball.
Yeah,
I've seen him catch the ball. Like that's good enough for me at this point. And then when he puts the bat in his hand, guess what he does? He moves runners.
Mm-hmm.
He moves runners. It's what you don't have in the lineup right now. Literally, both things. And when somebody does something good, you know what he's doing? He's cheering them on. It's what you don't have in the lineup right now. You don't have an energy guy. Derek Carrier hit that grand slam. That was the first time in his 2 years here I seen him blow up with some energy like that after a huge play. And it lit a spark. And then you didn't see that again tonight. It came out flat. Jake Brown rockets. First pitch. Well, I don't even know. I think it was the first or second pitch. 2-run shot. I'm thinking, hell yeah. This is a different whole game here, boy. We got the pitcher up to over 15 pitches in the first inning. We up 2-0. Put up a crooked number. Oh, we might run rule these bastards. Just to give it all away. I cannot tell y'all how much I do not want to wake up on Monday morning for my birthday to turn on this camera to start my morning stream about having positive vibes and celebrating my birthday coming off of a series loss to this school. Any other school, I'd even give a pass to the Goobs right now.
Back-to-back weeks against Ole Miss and A&M is
other school, I would be fine. But if we lose this series to this school in Oxford, and I got to get up Monday morning, I'm not going to be too positive. Mm-hmm. David, if you are Jay Johnson tonight, what changes are you making to try to get us a win tomorrow?
The tough thing, excuse me, about this, all of the struggles that we've talked about, like the issues, like the defensive issues in the different positions, or even like at the plate. The problem is that it's hard to single out one player that's like just been bad, worse than everybody else.
It's groupthink.
Like that was kind of York, and they got him out. Like that's that's what makes it tough. And my point in saying that is like, so it's just no, like tonight. Seth Dardo has been one of your hottest hitters. He struck out with a runner on third base in less than, well, both times were less than 2 outs. One was with one was at 2 outs, but RBI up to 90 feet away. What did you do?
Zach.
Yeah, like
hilarious.
this is the comment
That's
of the night.
comment of the night.
This is I need to star this. This is the comment of the night.
That's
Going from Ole Miss, and I gotta read this because I'm going to upload this on Spotify. Going from Ole Miss to A&M is like going from Scientology to the branch of Davidians of Waco. That is exactly from one cult to another. Brother. My good brother. David, please finish your thought.
Zach's delirious right now. But just the point I was getting at is that it has, you can't even, it's not like one or two guys that are just not coming through and not doing things, that you need them to do. Like I said, it was Dardar twice tonight. Jake Brown hit an infield fly with runners on first and second, nobody out. He hit some strikeouts at times. On Tuesday, it was Milam, Jake Brown, and John Pearson. Like every single time, it doesn't matter who's at the plate. Like even you said it, like about being excited about the sac fly from Curiel in the 7th inning because you got it done. But even then, like I'm not trying to take away. I'm just with where you're at right now. Looking back, I'm not trying to get greedy because we're asking them to do these things in certain situations. But now it's just hindsight 2020 is obvious. You needed more than a sacrifice fly. You needed it. Like you needed a hit in that situation. And that's like, it doesn't matter who's coming up in these situations. You can't like point out any single one of them. Nobody's doing it. Nobody. And then we can look back at Sunday and like see what they did. But like, that's the anomaly there. Like,
yep, exactly. I said that then.
Swings over the weekend. Like that's the anomaly. Zach and I talked about. We got on the show Sunday and said like, and Zach was like, as exciting as this is today, it doesn't do anything for me moving forward. It's like, no, because it just masks the issues. That's what it does. So it's really hard. I mean, I could like, it's hard to point tomorrow and say this is the formula, just because it doesn't matter. It's like the formula changes every day.
What happened Sunday was like a homeless man being given a free steak dinner. At the end of, when you wake up tomorrow, guess what? You still don't have no roof over your head, and you might not find anything to eat. Just because you got steak and potatoes tonight, don't mean you're not gonna have hot dogs and no chili tomorrow. You'd be lucky to have a bun. You might be wrapping it around some bunny bread. Like you can have. Everybody can. We all have had the night where you know what, I got a little extra money. Let's go to supper club this weekend. You go to supper club on Friday, your ass is eating McDonald's tomorrow. And then after McDonald's the next day, you're going to Walmart, you about to bust open a can of tuna. Like, that's what this team is. They gave us supper club on Sunday. And then they took us to Jack in the Box. Not even Whataburger. They took us to Jack in the Box on Tuesday. And then tonight, we got a nice fried bologna sandwich for you. That's what we're serving for dinner. And watch tomorrow.
Good, don't disrespect the fried bologna sandwich.
Look. Those are good. But when you had Ruth Chris or Fleming's on Sunday. Like I just had Fleming's on Sunday. A tomahawk with the house salad and the loaded baked potato. Sour cream, bacon, and chives.
That's disrespectful to Jack. That's disrespectful to Jack in the Box.
And then you take me to like I just had this Sunday. And then you pull up on Tuesday and give me Jack in the Box, and now tonight you on we in the same week. You telling me I gotta have fried bologna? We fell off that fast? I can't even go get a $4 biggie bag from Wendy's? That's how fast we fell off. Man, just give me peanut butter and jelly. Just give me an Uncrustable for all that.
Uncrustable.
Just give me the damn Uncrustable for all that. How about that? That's what this team is doing to us right now. And watch tomorrow. They're gonna pull us up. They're gonna pull us up in a limousine. They're gonna have on a fire ass tuxedo, clean, sharp dressed. Take us out to supper club. Pay the bill for everybody in the building. And then Sunday, they might not even pick us up. Watch. Because that's what this team gives you. You get the highs of highs and the lowest of lows. In the same week. In the same week. Zach said it's disrespectful to Jack in the Box and fried bologna. Look. Jack in the Box kind of lost me when they started serving tacos. All right, like that threw me for a loop. I ain't care.
Tacos,
bro. Sliced cheese tacos, bro. Like Jack in the Box. Outside of that one time, it gave me food poisoning. That's my point. Like you just proved my point. You just think about that. You went to supper club on Monday, Zach, and you got food poisoning from Jack in the Box on Tuesday. Like, that's what this team. That's what this team just did you. They literally just did you that. They literally just did you that. I swear for God, if I don't have an 18-ounce ribeye in front of my face tomorrow, it's gonna be smoke. We cannot lose this series, man.
We gotta get AP. We gotta get AP happy on Monday morning. We gotta get a good AP on Monday morning on his birthday. We can't have no cranky AP because we lost to the school in Oxford.
We have been shoved. No, I want y'all to understand this. Okay, this is how deep it is for me right now. We have been shoving this school in a locker since November. Since November, we've been on a high, right? They beat us in October, but we have been shoving them in a locker since November. And in every other sport, we have beat them in, and it's been sweet. Here we are, rolling into the season.
We beat them in men's basketball.
Yes, wow. We beat them in men's basketball.
One of our three wins.
Think about that. The team, we just fired a coach and then took another school and shoved them in the locker to shove them back in the locker again. We have been rolling this team. And here we are with the team that was set up to give us further highs. Imagine if they're the ones to break our spirits. Going into my birthday.
Come on, guys. Come on,
man. Do not bring me to Jack in the Box again. Don't do this to me. Just give me what I will take a 6-5 extra innings win. That is Whataburger. I'll take it. 1 a.m. Whataburger. I'll take it. Come on. Thank you, Unc. AP, that sounds like Unc's life story. Those highs and lows, man. It's man, look, I want a series win, but David, you set it up so beautifully, and I just want you to give the people the whys as to why you said we talked personally before the game tonight. You alluded to it again on Go Deep Dive tonight. Why was it so important for us to get this win tonight going into tomorrow?
Because now you're going into tomorrow, and they have, in
facts,
my opinion, their best starting pitcher going tomorrow. I think the only reason why Hunter Elliott's that Friday night guy is just because he's got a lot of experience and not taking anything away. He's very good too. But this dude tomorrow is a dude. He's really good. And you got one too. Don't get me wrong. And in the story, it's pretty. These teams are mirrored in a lot of ways.
Yes.
The best thing of Ole Miss has been their pitching for the most part. Not that LSU's pitching has been unreal, but it's the best there is. Their offense has struggled, at times. Defense not great. So and you got a good, like I said, you got to do tomorrow as well. But now you've like tomorrow's a must win. Like, I mean, like obviously to win the series, it's a must win that you got to get. And you lost tonight's game by using your number one weapon out of the bullpen. You used him tonight. And you may have, for a little bit on Sunday, but you went down tonight while using him. So tomorrow's not even just a must win for winning the series. It's a must win because if you lose tomorrow after using now you're going to a bullpen game on Sunday and you don't have the bullet that can get you 4 or 5 innings, and you don't have, if you got to use Sheeran or somebody like that tomorrow,
or Guidry,
it's bad. It gets tough, man. You go into Sunday, even if you win tomorrow, you've got to do what you got to do to win. You can't think about Sunday.
Right.
If you got to use them tomorrow, you use them to win because
they got a good Sunday guy too. They got a good Sunday guy. They got a good 1, 2, 3 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they'll have the advantage starting pitching wise on Sunday. And I do think it's going to be a phenomenal pitching matchup tomorrow between Schmidt and Townsend for Ole Miss.
The most disappointing thing out of all of this for tonight is the fact that we wasted another great effort from Case and Evans. I get it. He didn't have the start that he wanted to, but he struck out 9. He sat down 9. At one point, he retired 10 straight. He locked in for 6 innings. And you're going to sit up there and you're going to have people talking about Kaysen's not a Friday guy. They had 3 runs when he left the mound in the 7th. That's enough to win the game. And then you go to the bullpen, you pull out Zach Cowan to keep the lid on to give your bats an opportunity, and your fielding let him down. I am afraid. I'm afraid.
I would have said coming into the weekend that tonight, you could argue tonight was the most winnable game for them because it's you trusting your ace, you going up as a team that draws a lot of walks, going against a pitcher that can walk him. And that doesn't even mean that it was not that you should have been favored, but just if you look at it game by game tomorrow, they have probably their best guy going. Like I said, even though you got a good one too. Sundays, they got a good dude, and you got bullpen, and you don't know. You just in that terms, you could argue tonight was the most winnable of the 3. And that baseball means that don't mean shit. That's baseball. That could mean you still go into tomorrow and Sunday, but just on paper going into it, like you said, it's scary.
I think for me, it's just. My biggest thing about tonight, obviously, with the loss is you lost a game in which you used Zach Cowan for over 30 pitches. And he's been your best pitcher in conference play so far, in my mind. So, I mean, you still got Guidry, Sheeran. I know Fontenot is projected to start on Sunday, and you absolutely have all the faith and belief in the world of William Schmidt. But, that's my biggest thing is, you lost a game in which you kind of, you lost a game in which Zach Cowan threw over 30 pitches. So now you don't know, that's my biggest thing. It is Cowan pitched a game you lost, and now you got to go from there.
2 innings on Sunday is what we'll probably get out of count. We need them, and Unc says it right here. We need a gem from Schmitty tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's got to get.
Schmitty's got to shove.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Can I throw you a quick side by side quote stats real quick, just for because y'all were talking about it when I joined the call, and you just kind of touched on it. I'm gonna read you starting pitcher stats from tonight. Kason Evans, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, struck out 9, and walked 2. Hunter Elliott went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 1 less run with 2, struck out 8, 1 less than Kason, walked 1 less than Kason. Those are almost identical.
They're identical.
You think anybody in Ole Miss land is upset with Hunter Elliott's start tonight?
Hell no. They're praising Hunter Elliott.
You have no damn reason to be upset with Kason. And I told Justin this. We were talking a little bit towards the end of the game. I told him because he said like he was just missing up a little bit early, and that's what got him in trouble. And I told him, I said,
remember I said that Remember I asked that if his fastball is elevated. Sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry.
You good. But I said like the next step in his progression is avoiding those innings where he gets into, because he almost always, like, as good as he is, he almost always has like just one inning where there was like, a lot of pitches, it's, either just a couple walks in one inning like it was Kentucky, or tonight was just a couple hits, but it's never perfectly clean with Kason. And that's the next step of his progression, is avoiding those single innings.
I'll say one thing about the Kason thing. I thought he had a great start tonight, really. Like getting through 6 innings, especially, gave up a few runs early, but really buckled down. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I love the LSU fan base. I'm so proud to be a part of it. Obviously, like, it's amazing the work this fan base has done over the past week with all the donations and stuff. But I will say, I think the downfall can be comparison sometimes to past success. And I think when you look at Friday night guys historically at LSU.
Oh, I know the downfall.
You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled.
Yeah, but absolutely. You think of Anderson, you think of Skeens, you think of Nola. Like, those are the guys you think of when you think of Friday night ace for the LSU Tigers. So anytime, like, that's the expectation that you're holding a guy like Kason Evans up to. And I'm sorry, but that's just unrealistic. That's just unfair. Kason, yeah, maybe he had a bad start against Vanderbilt. Maybe he had a bad start against Kentucky. But he also struck out 15 and pitched into the 8th inning against Oklahoma. You pitched 6 innings against Ole Miss. I thought he had a really good start in Knoxville against Tennessee. Like, Kason Evans, he's your Friday night guy, and he's been really good this year, man. He's been really good. I think our downfall, like you said earlier, of course, was spoiled. But the downfall with LSU baseball fans at times when it comes to Friday night pitching is you're always going to be like, is he Nola? Is he Skeens? Is he Anderson? And like, that's where I think all of the criticism for Kason comes from.
And to answer your question in the chat, Uncle, it was a medical red shirt that he got in 2023. That's why he's listed as a junior.
He also used the 2024. He didn't play at all, so that probably was his actual red shirt year too.
Yeah. So yeah, he's still eligible. That's why. And plus, it's college athletics. There's no such things as as limits anymore. Like, I still got eligibility somewhere. Right? I was say especially in Oxford. Like, let's be serious right now. So, we've gone for an hour and 15 minutes. It's almost 1:00 in the morning. Thank you all for being here right now. I'm not going to keep y'all any longer. I didn't want to go this long, but sometimes you just got to exercise these demons, right? I'm not even gonna lie. Like, tomorrow, my family and I are going to a shooting range, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Because I got some stress built up, and I'm going to fire off some rounds. And hopefully, once we're done, we can go watch LSU do something that we're not expecting them to do right now. Justin, what's your outlook for tomorrow's game?
I think tomorrow you're going to see an elite pitching matchup on the mound. I think Cade Townsend versus William Schmidt is going to be an elite pitching matchup. I've said it, and I said it in my pregame. I think it could be a low-scoring series, and I still think that based on I think the Ole Miss pitching staff, Jay said it, is one of the best pitching staffs, the best pitching staff LSU has seen thus far this season. And I think tomorrow – the matchup between Schmidt and Townsend is pretty elite. So I think that's definitely one you're going to want to pay attention to. Look, you just got to make the clutch plays. You got to make the plays. It's SEC baseball. Margins are razor thin. You got to make those plays. You didn't make those plays in the 8th inning tonight. You got to go out and do it, man. You got to go out and freaking do it. You got to make the play.
David, what are your expectations for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, Justin's right. The pitching is going to be good, but tomorrow is just whoever does more little things right tomorrow is going to win that game. Like, I don't think anything else is going to become a factor, which is, we talk about it, an LSU team that has struggled to do that all year, and that's why it's scary. I would imagine if you look, because we expect it to be such a good pitching matchup tomorrow, that when you look up at the end, and this could be a lot of games, whoever leaves more runners on base tomorrow is going to lose the game. Like, I would almost take that to the bank. And like I said, it's not always the case, but like, because a lot of times teams that score a lot leave a lot of runners on base because you always got them on base. Like, that's a thing with LSU when they're rolling. But I think whoever leaves more on base tomorrow means because they executed on those opportunities less than the other team, and that's who loses.
And touching on that, I mean, shout out to William Schmidt, because it seems like he's done very well from the stretch with runners on. So, you know, if runners do get on, I am very confident in him to succeed in, you know, like shutting them down from advancing and getting all the way around. So I think we have the right pitcher in this situation for this moment for tomorrow. What are my expectations? I don't know. At this point, like I said, I could walk outside to a limousine and get brought to McDonald's. I could walk outside and it'd be a beat up 2-door Honda Fit and get brought to Supper Club. I don't know where they're going to take us tomorrow, y'all, and I don't know how we're going to get there. But it can be a beautiful ride to a horrendous inn, or it can be the ugliest ride you've ever seen and the most gorgeous golden hour sunset you've ever envisioned off the shores of Hawaii. Who knows? I don't. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not even confident enough to make a prediction. Because I really felt like you had every opportunity and the best opportunity to win tonight. And you didn't. And it wasn't because Ole Miss beat you. It's because you beat yourself. And anytime you're going to keep doing things like that, and guess what?
Hey, I'm sorry, bro. I got to go. I think Max just woke up crying. I'm going to jump out.
Go ahead. We're closing out anyway. Love you, boy. Later.
All right, bro.
So anytime you have these types of things, you just can't trust the team to win. So with that, I wanted to let y'all know I went to Cane's right when the game ended, because I want to make sure I am funding the NIL, supporting every asset or area that I can support, to make sure that this baseball team is not like this next year. I can't live through 2 seasons of this. So tomorrow, when y'all are watching the game, and if an error happens, please hear this sound.
You can't keep getting away with it.
With that, I love y'all, and we're signing out. Good night.